is going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel and today's video. It's been a super long time and I do apologize for the lapse in videos, but it's for good reason. Lately I think I've been wanting to jam more into one decent video, and I think I'm gonna stick to that for 2023 to some degree. So today we are back at South Florida Fairgrounds. You might be able to tell by the environment around me here, and we are drifting with Fuel Fest as well as US Drift Circuit. Now, if you don't know, Fuel Fest is a festival put on by Cody Walker, who is Paul Walker's brother. It involves some of the Fast and the Furious, I believe, organization to some degree, and it's to essentially try and help revive car culture for the younger generation. Back in the day, all these hot rod guys, they had all these clubs and all sorts of meets. Our generation's kind of missing that, and now we get to put it together. So it's really, really cool. It's a car show, concert, drift event. It's everything, all in one. A really fun time. There's only 50 drivers that are going to be driving today, so it is kind of an exhibition. It's not like a public event. And just like the last time I did an exhibition with Adam and with Clean Culture, I'm extremely honored to be here, and it's just such a cool experience getting to grow with all these silly, fun, awesome people. So speaking of jam packing more and more into each video, there's been a couple little changes to the FRS. One you can probably see right now, but one of the most important ones is we are no longer using the Ecutech Bluetooth for gauges at this point. You might have seen in the last video, we have an auxiliary AFR gauge. And then also, I just got Gerald Just Products, his IPS gauge, which this hooks up to the CAN bus, just like Ecutech did, using the OBD dongle. But when I use my fans, it will not interfere like it did with the Ecutech Bluetooth out. So I'm really excited for that today. That's going to be really, really sick. And then beyond that, you probably already tell that we got the VERUS hood vents installed. I'm not quite done with it yet. I definitely need to paint, the edges, because I did not do that yet. And I bit the side of it with a flap wheel, and it completely messed up this little slit here. So gonna have some body work to do in the future, but from 10 feet, I think it passes the test. The 10-foot test is all right. So that's all the updates on the car, and I'm gonna tag you along for today's journey into Fuel Fest. Notice we have a huge windshield banner on. Not my choice, but hey, I guess that comes with doing drift exhibitions and stuff. I gotta say, a tip that I've had since autocross with track layouts: always bring a longboard, scooter, little bicycle, anything, so that you can get a sense of speed while you're kind of moving through the track and understand where things are. Because for instance, there's a huge pothole here, another one right here. You wouldn't really see that unless you came out here. Another one right here, damn, boom. tire on one side, and that's why it just kept kept drifting like that for so long. That was funny as shit. I definitely need some fresh tires on it just so I feel more comfortable. Always a good idea when you're at the end of the life. I know everybody wants their money's worth, but once you start getting to the end of the tire's life, the characteristics change dramatically. It starts getting way less grippy. You start floating out places that you don't want to float out. And you end up getting yourself in a little bit of trouble. All right, guys, fresh tires on the whip. We ready to go. Good. Well, it looks like I don't have a career in drift basketball. That didn't turn out so well. I think I maybe got maybe one basket, and yeah, it's so much harder than it looks. There's like no bearing whatsoever. You have no idea how the ball is gonna come out when you're drifting. It's so weird. I thought I had it like unlocked so many times. It was just miss, airball, airball, airball. But man, that was so funny. Just the funniest thing I've ever done drift wise. We need to pick up a passenger. We have not picked up a single passenger, and there's so many over here. You ever done the drift car thing? No. All right. It'll be fun. Yeah, we kind of got in there at the end.
You got AC too?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Dude. We ain't playing.
We big balling.
Yeah, that race car life is real glamorous until you gotta walk in with no AC.
Until you drift in Florida.
Everybody's all ooh la la on those cars, and then they get in and they're like, oh fuck, god damn.
I mean, I don't got AC in my car, but it ain't a drift. It ain't a race car, so.
I think it's almost. So like in real racing, it wouldn't matter because like you're flying anyways, not paying attention. But here with how much we sit in our car, like, oh my god. Hasn't snapped on me like that in a while.
Yeah, that shit is. There's nothing that compares to that.
Pretty fun, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that compares to
It's
that.
weird because like I'm used to it, so to me, like I was like, oh man, that was kind of iffy here and there, but for you, I'm sure it's like, holy fuck!
I was gripping that. I mean, I drive fast normally, but this ain't nothing. This is a different monster.
Definitely not normal to go out a turn and just like yank it.
Yeah. It's speeding up through a turn.
It is a weird, awkward feeling to just throw it where you want it. Coming in a little hot.
That was fucking
good
awesome,
shit,
bro.
dude. I'm glad we got a good lap. My last one was a little worse than that, so that felt great, dude.
Yeah, I was watching you too. You were all like cutting on and off, but like, that was good, man. That was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'm finally figuring out where I can and can't do what, you know.
That's awesome, bro. Thank you so much, bro. You're fucking awesome.
I'm glad you had a good time, man.
All right, let me get your helmet.
Yeah, that's
that was awesome.
That's what your car can do.
I love it. I was trying to pay attention to your hand motions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's you get to a point where you stop thinking. But, yeah, it's all in the sim. If you can just get time and time and time on the sim.
What sim did you use?
It all adds up.
I'm very curious.
I still to this day use a Thrustmaster TMX.
Okay.
It's a piece of
And then
shit.
what do you use, like a Seto?
Yeah, a Seto.
Oh yeah, I'm on a Seto as well.
Yep.
I used it before I did Sebring. So
if you're already there, you're way ahead of the game.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. So unfortunately, somewhere in that last session, I ended up hurting my arm a little bit and overextending. I'm not sure the medical term, but my arm ended up being pretty damn sore. I think maybe caused by the accidental 360 in that session. Not to mention just how many obstacles you're fighting at this track and fighting the car, etc. I just think I tweaked my arm at some point. So fortunately for me, the day was cut short, but still got to watch some homies battle each other in a competition, which I thought was so cool for a drift exhibition because, you know, the fans or the spectators really got to see the full gambit of drifting, from what it's like at a public drift day with just, you know, fun sessions with homies to competition driving with super set up cars. So for the last session, just ended up hanging out, watching the homies shred, popped on over to my boy Jason's booth to go hang out with him. He runs NostalgicAutosports, which is pretty much a JDM retailer. He has authentic JDM pieces that he brings over from Japan, and he's one of my favorite people to see at events because he was there at my very first autocross event, and we've always been friends ever since. And fun fact, my one and only sponsor. So definitely go over to Nostalgic, hit him up, grab some swag, some JDM goodies, and tell him I sent you over. Now, although I had to sit out and sit on the bench and watch all my homies have all the fun, we did end up doing a lot of collective good this day, I believe. Now, all the ride-alongs you saw prior were paid ride-alongs, so I would get a ticket, and at the end of the night, I would be cashed out. I decided ultimately that I wanted to donate this money. There is a gentleman who I've known on Instagram for quite a while now. He is in the drift world in terms of media, so we have a lot in common, but there is one distinction in that he is Ukrainian. All drifting has stopped for them, obviously, due to what's going on in the world, and I saw it better to kind of take this money, which was coming from drifting, and somewhat pay it back to drifting, or at least to somebody who really needs it now to get back to what they love. So I'm super stoked that we got to raise quite a bit of money for it. I personally probably got $100 worth of ride-alongs. I tipped in another $100. A fellow drifter also put cash in, as well as Chris Jackson, the organizer of US Drift Circuit, also put another $100 in. So all in all, we ended up sending $370 over, which isn't a lot, but also I feel really good about it that, you know, $370 that we would use, you know, on maybe frivolous things got put to good use over there to hopefully just help get them one step closer to normalcy in their world. All right, guys, we're gonna close out the video here. Admittedly, I have tons of FOMO from missing the last session, but also I can't deny that my arm definitely still hurts from yesterday. So definitely tweaked some kind of, you know, tendon or nerve, whatever you want to call it. But it's one of those things where, like, you don't feel it until it's in that weird spot, and then all of a sudden it hurts like shit. So I really didn't want to put anybody, you know, in a precarious place with not being to my, you know, fullest potential in a way. I know tons of drifters out there who would have said fuck it and thrown it on track, but, you know, at the end of the day, this thing is not caged yet. 90% of the drivers who were out there were caged, so, like, I'm the odd man out in terms of safety. Like, I'm the one who's really technically unsafe, while everybody else is like, dude, just hop in, who cares, you know? So that is something I want to figure out in the future. I'm still kind of debating my options with this car of how to do a roll cage that could keep it somewhat streetable and still be able to just do normal life things. But there just might not be a good in between those two things. So we'll see in the future, but there are some really, really cool things coming for the channel. Like literally today, I'm working on a project in the background, which is related to cars, but more so related to fabrication. So if you guys are into that, you know, upcoming here, we're gonna have kind of a new series, learning a new skill and jumping into a new world all over again, just like we did with drifting, autocross, everything before with this car. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to you all for 1,000 subscribers, because we finally hit that mark just recently. And yeah, I'm super appreciative of you guys, of you wanting to tag along in these ridiculous journeys, and there's a lot more of them to come. So I hope you tag along, and until next time, I will see you in the next one. Peace.